We're counting down the 10 cheap motorcycles that look so expensive, even seasoned riders will do a double take at your price tag, from retro classics with artisan metalwork to modern machines that deliver designer prestige without breaking the bank. Each entry on this list punches far above its weight in pure curb appeal. Forget plastic pretenders. These bikes use real materials and clever engineering to mimic custom builds and luxury flagships for a fraction of the cost. Which affordable machine nails the ultimate financial flex, and which one tops our ranking as the king of budget deception? Let's kick off our countdown with number 10. In the 10th place, the Benelli Leoncino 500 pulls off a trick that leaves design snobs and casual riders equally baffled. Italian trellis frame, sculpted tank, and a metal fender, features you'd expect on a Ducati or MV Agusta, anchor its silhouette. The Leoncino logo, stamped into the side, gives it the kind of presence usually reserved for bikes twice the price. Paint depth isn't just a marketing claim. It's real, with clear coat and metallic flake that catch the sun like a showroom queen. And industrial designers point to the Leoncino's balanced proportions and exposed frame as textbook examples of visual weight. A $6,199 MSRP hiding in a $12,000 suit. Metal touch points replace the plastic shortcuts most cheap bikes settle for. Under $7,000 metal fenders are a rarity, but here they're standard. The only catch, a spotty dealer network means you're more likely to turn heads at a coffee stop than find a quick fix if something goes wrong. Still, for pure curb appeal on a budget, the Benelli Leoncino 500 is the Italian Imposter that nails the look. Number 9, the Kawasaki Vulcan S plays a convincing double life as a British budget bobber. Factory finished wiring disappears under the tank, sparing owners the headache and cost of aftermarket tucks, a detail that would run close to $1,000 in a custom shop. The offset rear shock isn't just a technical quirk, it's a visual signature that sets the Vulcan S apart from cookie-cutter cruisers, hinting at boutique engineering without the boutique price. Matte paint and deep gloss options offer the kind of depth usually reserved for hand-sprayed tanks, saving another grand in labor. Custom builders point out the smooth, minimalist silhouette. No clutter, no cheap chrome, no plastic trying to pass as metal. And the exposed engine and low-slung stance echo the lines of high-end British customs. But here, it's all showroom standard. For riders chasing that bespoke look without the months of shop time or the 5-figure invoice, the Vulcan S delivers instant credibility and curb presence straight from the dealership. In 8th place, the Yamaha XSR 700 rewrites the script for Japanese neo-retro style. Brushed aluminum side panels, a round headlight, and exposed engine cases deliver the kind of visual punch usually reserved for European heritage bikes. At first glance, the XSR 700 could pass for a BMW R9T or a Triumph Bonneville, bikes that routinely command 5-figure price tags. Here, the MSRP lands just under $10,000. Minimal plastic, clean welds, and authentic metal touch points set it apart from the sea of molded imitations. The paint has depth, not just gloss, and the proportions are tight. No wasted space, no awkward overhangs. Designers leaned into the classic roadster silhouette, but with a modern edge. Digital dash, LED lighting, and a sculpted tank that feels premium to the touch. For riders who want the look of a boutique European machine without the boutique price, the XSR 700 is proof that Japanese engineering can nail the heritage aesthetic and still keep the cost in check. Number 7, the Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 delivers the kind of cafe racer polish that usually takes a custom shop and a 5-figure invoice. The seat cowl, clip-on bars, and elongated fuel tank don't just mimic the golden era of British racing, they raise the bar for what's possible at a $6,999 MSRP. Royal Enfield's vendor upgrades are no marketing spin. The chrome isn't just shiny, it's export grade sourced from European suppliers who specialize in boutique-level finishes. Paint depth runs several layers deep, with a clear coat that holds up under scrutiny and sunlight alike. Owners report that the welds and metalwork feel deliberate, with visible attention to detail on the frame and engine cases. No plastic, pretending to be metal, no shortcuts hidden under stickers. The parallel twin engine, with its polished cooling fins and classic profile, looks like it belongs in a museum piece, not a showroom discount. Every visible bolt and bracket is finished to a standard that would pass muster on a $15,000 one-off. The GT650's presence at a stoplight draws the kind of glances usually reserved for rare imports or hand-built customs. For riders chasing true cafe lines and premium finish without the weight of modern electronics or the price of exclusivity, the Continental GT650 is proof that supply chain upgrades and old school pride can outshine raw horsepower. This is the moment the list pivots from nostalgia to the sharp, aggressive edge of modern design. Number 6, the KTM 390 Duke is the sharpest trick in the modern naked bike playbook. Its trellis frame, painted a blazing orange, isn't a visual afterthought. It's a direct nod to the $18,000 Super Duke R, right down to the welds and aggressive stance. The 390's tank is sculpted for intimidation, not just ergonomics, with angular plastics and a muscular silhouette that fools most into guessing double its price. LED, daytime running lights, and a crisp TFT dash add to the illusion, signaling flagship intent even at a glance. But the real story sits behind the scenes. The KTM Bajaj partnership in India brought early drama, with Austrian engineers clashing over frame finish, weld quality, and paint depth. Initial models caught flack for splattery welds and thin powder coat, but by 2017, supplier upgrades and relentless QC audits turned those weak points into assets. Every visible weld, every paint line now gets the kind of scrutiny usually reserved for bikes 3 times the cost. The result is a motorcycle that looks and feels premium, with the industrial muscle to back it up. Insurance companies still see a 373 cubic centimeter entry-level bike, but the street sees a Euro street fighter with presence that punches far above its weight. For riders chasing big bike looks without the big bike bill, the 390 Duke is the industrial success story that set the bar for the segment. In the 5th place, the Kawasaki Ninja 400 pulls off the ultimate sport bike illusion. Full fairings, LED daytime running lights, and signature Ninja lines make it nearly impossible to tell apart from its 600cc and 1000cc siblings at a glance. The aggressive stance, sharp tank, and twin headlight profile are straight from the ZX family playbook, yet the MSRP lands under $6,000, not $12,000. Well, this is more than a visual trick. It's a financial loophole. Insurance companies rate the Ninja 400 as a beginner bike, not a super sport. In the US, annual premiums average around $180 compared to $330 for a ZX-6R, saving owners $750 to $1,850 over 5 years. That's money in your pocket for a bike that gets mistaken for a full-blown super bike at every gas stop. Kawasaki's own marketing team debated whether the styling was too close to the flagship models, but sales numbers settled the argument. Riders want the look without the debt. The Ninja 400 delivers the big bike presence, the curb appeal, and the street cred, all while keeping running costs in check. For anyone chasing the dream of a super bike on a starter budget, this is the insurance loophole that pays dividends every year. Number 4, the Suzuki SV650 is the master of big bike deception in the mid-tier standard class. Its muscular tank and exposed V-twin engine create the illusion of heavyweight power, echoing the visual presence of motorcycles that command 5-figure price tags. The frame is substantial, the stance is upright, and the proportions are generous. No one mistakes this for an entry-level commuter. Riders and reviewers alike point to the SV650's ability to command respect at a stoplight, thanks to its broad shoulders and purposeful silhouette. But the real secret sits beneath the surface. The SV650's depreciation curve is flatter than its closest rivals. After 3 years, it typically retains 70% or more of its original value, according to Kelley Blue Book and dealership data. Even at 5 years out, resale prices hover above 60% of MSRP, outpacing the Yamaha MT-07 and Kawasaki Z650 by several points. This isn't just about looking expensive, it's about keeping more of your money when it's time to trade up or cash out. The SV650's blend of visual heft and financial stability makes it a smart buy for riders who want the appearance of a big bore naked without the penalty of rapid depreciation. In a market where style often fades faster than value, the SV650 proves you can have both. Coming to the top 3, the Kawasaki Versys X300 is the adventure imposter that rewrites the rules for budget ADV style. Standing tall with its upright stance, oversized windscreen, and beaked front fairing, the Versys X300 borrows every visual cue from $20,000 adventure rigs. The tank is sculpted for presence, not just fuel capacity, and the ADV cluster layout, complete with bar risers and a wide handlebar sweep, signals long-haul intent. At a glance, it's easy to mistake this bike for a BMW GS or KTM Adventure, yet the MSRP hovers around $5,999. That's the secret. Full-size silhouette, small displacement running costs, Press coverage backs up the deception. ADV Pulse lists the Versys X300 among its top 10 adventure bikes under $10,000, calling it a budget-conscious adventure bike that captures the look and stance of the big boys. Motorcycle.com's lightweight ADV shootout highlights the Versys X300 as the most comfortable and friendliest of the group, with visual impact that rivals flagship adventure machines. Even Slash Gear singles it out for mimicking the proportions of a $20,000 BMW, all for entry-level money. Owner stories confirm the illusion. Riders report being welcomed into ADV groups and mistaken for high-dollar adventure travelers, with only a glance at the badge revealing the truth. The tall windscreen and upright geometry aren't just cosmetic. They deliver genuine comfort and wind protection for daily commutes or cross-country trips. For the price of a used scooter, you get the presence and cachet of a world-class adventure tourer. The Versys X300 is the ADV on a budget that consistently fools the eye and earns a spot in every best value roundup. That's the difference between looking like you spent a fortune and actually keeping your money in the bank. Number 2, the Honda Rebel 500 is the factory bobber that skips the build and heads straight for custom prestige. In 2016, Honda invited a panel of custom builders into their design workshops, asking what it would take to make a showroom bike that looked ready for a magazine cover. The answer: clean wiring, exposed frame rails, and a stance that sits low and mean. The Rebel 500's wiring harness tucks invisibly beneath the tank, a detail that would run over $1,000 in a custom shop, now included at retail. Matte black paint covers the frame and tank, avoiding the cheap gloss and fake chrome that give away most budget cruisers. And the silhouette is pure intention. No plastic covers, no awkward angles, just a straight shot from headlight to tail. Builders point to the minimalist seat and blackout engine cases as proof that Honda listened. It's a bike that looks like it rolled out of a boutique workshop, not a mass market assembly line. Most owners save upwards of $3,000 in typical modifications. Wiring tucks, blackout kits, and custom seats are all stock. The Rebel's low-slung profile and relaxed geometry channel the attitude of a Harley Sportster 48, but at a fraction of the price and weight. Riders report being mistaken for custom Harley owners at meets and city stops, the illusion broken only by the Honda badge. And the Rebel 500's secret is collaboration, a direct line from pro builders to the factory floor, delivering a bike that nails the custom look and keeps the savings in your pocket. For anyone who wants the custom cruiser experience without the debt or downtime, this is the shortcut the aftermarket can't match. And finally, in first place, the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401 is the ultimate budget flex, a motorcycle that turns the whole idea of cheap bikes on its head. Designed by Maxime Thuvinin and the Kiska studio, the Svartpilen 401 didn't just borrow from a concept sketch, it brought the concept straight to the street. The pill-shaped tank, a signature piece, survived the transition from Milan show floor to dealership almost unchanged. That single curve matched with the floating seat and the upright bar signals intention. Nothing is accidental. The negative space between tank and subframe is deliberate, drawing the eye and suggesting a boutique build, not a mass-market commuter. And industrial designers point to the Svartpilen's matte finishes and minimal branding as textbook visual deception. Every surface is either powder-coated or textured, avoiding the cheap gloss and plastic shine that gives away most budget bikes. The headlight cage and extruded metal surround looks lifted from a designer's concept board, because it is. Even the digital dash, small and stark, is a nod to Scandinavian restraint. There's no over-designed cluster or fake carbon fiber, just a clean, round display that lets the rest of the bike breathe. The MSRP lands at $5,649, but owners routinely report being mistaken for riding a $12,000 European custom. Stories circulate of Svartpilen riders getting flagged down at meets and city stops by people convinced they're looking at a limited run concept or a hand-built boutique machine. The illusion is so strong that even seasoned riders have asked, is that a prototype? What sets the Svartpilen 401 apart isn't just the silhouette or the finishes, it's the commitment to concept. Kiska's approach was simple. If a part didn't improve the riding experience, it didn't belong. That means no filler panels, no unnecessary plastics, no clutter. The result is a motorcycle that looks like it was carved from a single idea, not assembled from a parts bin. And in a world where most budget bikes play catch-up, the Svartpilen 401 leads with confidence. It's the final word in affordable prestige, a designer bike for riders who want the look, the presence, and the story. without the price tag. No other machine delivers this much visual impact for so little cash. That's the difference between a budget bike and a budget masterpiece. From the Benelli Leoncino 500's Italian Flair at the start of our countdown to the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401's concept bike illusion at number 1, these 10 motorcycles prove that style and presence don't have to come with a luxury price tag. Throughout the list, a clear pattern emerged. The most convincing budget bikes use real metal finishes, bold silhouettes, and attention to design details that mimic bikes costing twice or even 3 times as much. The biggest surprises? How convincingly the Kawasaki Versys X300 mimics a $20,000 adventure rig, and how the Honda Rebel 500 delivers custom shop cruiser looks straight from the showroom. Our ranking focused on visual impact, authenticity of design, and the ability to fool even seasoned riders. Truth is, manufacturers have cracked the code, delivering prestige and envy-inducing style without the financial sting. Drop your pick for the best budget flex bike in the comments. Remember, you don't need debt to have road presence, just a smart eye for design and maybe a little insider knowledge. Ride smart and let someone else pay the depreciation tax.